Hello everyone, and welcome to Pius Talk, the show where everyone has a story worth telling. We strive to inspire everyone in their spirituality, to motivate our parishioners in their Christian walk, and to connect and support each other through this time of social distance. I'm Dave Bellamy, your host for today. The show comes to you from Tucson, Arizona, the home of St. Pius X Catholic community. Our guest this week is Karen Latendresse, and she's from Interfaith Community Services. So, without further ado, Karen, welcome.
Thank you, Dave.
Lovely to have you with us
Thank you.
today.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, good. So, this is your story. Let's start early on. Let's talk about growing up, your academic life, and then your professional life, if you would.
Okay. I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, the oldest of 4 children, and my family was, we had a pretty large extended family, lots of cousins, aunts and uncles in the area. Everyone was Catholic, so we all managed to live out our faith pretty easily in those early years. So that was in Ohio. We moved to Vermont when I was 11 and went to Catholic grade school and high school in Ohio and Vermont. And after high school, I went into nursing school for a very short period of time. Decided to change careers very quickly at that point.
Okay.
So I was fortunate enough to get into a corporate job with in procurement, and after a couple of years, I went on to another opportunity, and then we ended up getting married. So we didn't feel like we wanted to work together. It wasn't a good thing. So I moved on to another organization. And then after several years, I felt like I needed to kind of back up the experience with a degree, so I started night school, and it was a 10-year journey for my bachelor's degree. Yeah, finally finished it at Regis University in Denver, and opened up a lot of doors for me. So that was a great thing. And then in 1993, I joined Kimberly-Clark Corporation here in Tucson.
Okay.
And I was with them for 22 years. Did a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of medical devices, and just an opportunity to help people with whatever their medical needs were. So we had a plant in Nogales, and or a number of plants in Nogales. So we traveled back and forth from Tucson to Nogales and did a lot of work back and forth across the border.
Okay.
So that was a great experience.
Good.
So finished up. So I got my bachelor's degree, and then when we were in Atlanta the second time, I went back to school and got a master's in nonprofit management, because I knew that at some point I really wanted to give back to my community, give back to my church, and it wasn't about me and making money anymore. It was about giving back to all those people that have helped me along the way, and all those people that need help.
Okay. So you went from Tucson to Atlanta to Tucson to Atlanta
And back to Tucson.
to Tucson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're back here now.
And you're here. This is it.
This is
Okay.
it.
So, after the master's in nonprofit, okay, then you started into working with nonprofits?
I did. I
Okay.
actually, I left my corporate job in Atlanta and joined St. Vincent de Paul, Georgia. And I spent 4 years with them. And in 2019, we had the opportunity to do that. I met Tom McKinney at ICS, he's the CEO at Interfaith Community Services. And it was we had a great conversation. he called me, and it was really just networking, just, you know, seeing what was going on and trying to understand what opportunities there might be at ICS. And a couple of months later, he called and said, well, you know, there may be an opportunity here for you. Would you be interested? So we talked more, and so I came on board. And at this point, I'm doing fundraising for ICS.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to ICS in a moment if you don't mind. So,
okay.
I'd like you to talk about, since again, this is your story, so I'd like you to talk a little bit about your faith journey. I think a lot of people watching can, I don't say learn a lot, but feel a lot of support and maybe even some direction from people talking about where they've been in their walk with Christ. So if you don't mind.
So, you know, I think it started as a child in my family life. My husband was not Catholic when we got married, but within a year he went through the RCIA process. He felt like it was an important part of our journey together and our married life. So, and he loved the Catholic Church, so it was a great opportunity. He had some great sponsors in Colorado where he actually went through the RCIA, who were lifelong friends of ours, and a great support system. And you know, I think that for so many years we were busy with careers and you know, buying houses and making sure that things were good, but there wasn't. It seemed like there wasn't a lot of time to give back. And at one point, the light bulb came on. Actually, when we were here, we did a lot of work with the youth in our Colorado parish, and but it was more event-based. It wasn't anything long-term. And then when we came back to Tucson, Karen Horton recruited us to facilitate the Just Faith program. And Just Faith is a 32-week program. We actually saw it on the marquee at the beginning of Mass, and Jim actually nudged me and he said, what do you think? Maybe we should do that. I said, 32 weeks? Oh my gosh, what would 32 weeks? So we met with Karen afterwards, and she lovingly recruited us to facilitate a 32-week program, and we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. So the next week she gives me this big binder and said, well, here, just read this and you'll know everything. Well, no, it wasn't quite that simple.
Of course not.
So we started the program. She did a great job helping bring some people into the fold so that we could actually have a group. It's really looking at poverty and systems of social injustice through the lens of compassion. And it's just a phenomenal program. And we were so blessed at St. Pius to have. We had 10 people in our group, and it was, we had people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. So it was a phenomenal cross-section of faith-filled people that wanted to learn more and become more involved in their faith, as we did. Mm-hmm. So the program started, and so part of the program was immersion experiences. And it was, or border crossing. So we literally crossed the border into Mexico, and we visited drug rehab centers and orphanages and the Keno Border Initiative, and really looked, and we were able to see so much of the work that they were all doing, and how much it was helping people in the communities. Yeah.
So you came back here.
Yeah.
With Interfaith.
With Interfaith, yes.
And so talk about Interfaith a little bit and what you do for and with Interfaith.
Okay. So I do their fundraising. We have a lot of fundraising opportunities for individual donors, corporate donors, planned giving, so people that are that want to leave something to a charitable organization in their wills as a bequest. So we do a lot of that. We have a lot of events, not a lot of events. COVID has kind of put a damper on events. So we've done a lot of pivoting with our events, and they're virtual now.
So what is Interfaith, and what does Interfaith do? What's their mission?
So Interfaith Community Services was founded 35 years ago by 6-member churches on the northwest side of town. They're located at Ina and Shannon. And so it was St. Andrew's, St. Mark's, and I don't remember the others, but anyway, 6 of them got started. So now there are 119 member churches, member faith communities in all of Pima County, and working through those faith communities, we're able to provide services to many people in the Tucson area. Could be rent assistance, could be utilities, it could be food. We have a large food pantry there. And prior to COVID, it was, we did everything pretty much in person. So we did case management. People in need would come into our office and fill out an application, speak with a case manager, come up with a plan. So if you need rent for this month, how are you going to pay it for next month? So the idea is always to get people to stability and self-sufficiency. So we served, last year we served 47,000 people in the community. Yeah.
Well, that's really fantastic.
It is. It's a great
it's
organization.
Definitely reaching out on behalf of the body. So.
Absolutely.
Well, Karen, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And
thank you.
Wonderful to have you with us.
Thank you.
And
great to be here.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We're so glad you're with us. If you liked what you heard, press that little like button right down there. Share your comments and your stories. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget, subscribe to our channel, get notifications of when new episodes premiere. So tune in next week and every week. Colleen has a special guest for you next week. I won't ruin it. In the meantime, stay safe, pray always, and sing like you mean it. This has been Pius Talk. God bless you.